Hello there. I've been doing some grading and I wanted to give you some tricks on how to make your life easier with Sublime Text 2. Um, Dreamweaver has similar tools and many applications that you use to code web pages have similar tools. However, Sublime Text happens to be the tool that I use as a web designer, and I've come to really appreciate some of the tools. Um, Many of you had some simple typos in your CSS files, and Sublime Text 2, thanks to the code highlighting, it's what it's called when different portions of code are colored differently, makes it very easy to find these errors. So for example, if you forget the dash in the font family, you'll notice that it turns white. So you can quickly scan through your CSS file for things that are white and say, is there a problem here? Same thing if you forget a semicolon, you'll notice that now all of a sudden my next line, I've got height, it's got some issues. So sometimes it might not be on this line. If you stare at line 7 for a long time, it looks pretty good. Look up one line and see if there's any errors here. Also, if we add too many digits to our hexadecimal CSS color code, now I've got 7 and instead of 6, you can see that that starts to go white. If your line numbers are not on, they should be by default. If for some reason you do not see these line numbers here, because you'll notice in your Blackboard gradebook comments, I'll tell you, let me make an error here. I'll say you have a CSS error on line 6. You need these line numbers so that you can know which line I'm talking about. If you don't see these line numbers along the left hand here, you go down to Preferences, Settings Default. It will open up this file, and on line 25, of course if you don't have line numbers on them, you won't see that it's line 25, but it says line numbers, and if that says false for some reason, sorry, you won't see them. So you just need to change that to true and then save this file. Next time you start up Sublime Text, you will have line numbers. Okay. Now, as we get deeper into some of the CSS3, so if I choose chapter 10, and I look at some of these, you'll see that we're using, these are called vendor-specific CSS3. In this instance, it's border radius and box shadow. The dash MOZ is white. That's because these vendor-specific prefixes here, this is for Mozilla Firefox, that's for WebKit, which is Safari and Chrome. O is for Opera, MS is for Microsoft Internet Explorer. These are not actually standard code. These are kind of miniature hacks that the web browsers have put in to make the stuff work. The one right here, border radius and box shadow, that's the standard CSS code. Thankfully, all browsers are moving towards supporting the standard, but until we get to a point where they all support it the same way, this is the intermittent solution. We use these browser specific, and they show up white because as far as Sublime Text is concerned, this is not right code. And it's true, it's not, it is a miniature hack, but it does work. So that will show up white, but don't let that throw you. Anything else that is white is a problem. So hopefully that's a couple tricks to help you leverage Sublime Text 2 to make you more efficient while coding web pages.